Good evening. Hi, it's me. It's Astrologer Penny Dix, and here we are for the weekly astrological forecast. And the first thing I want to say is happy Equinox. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the autumn equinox. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the spring equinox. And look at all of you here already. Oh, wow. It's so lovely to see you. I'm actually quite organized tonight, which makes a change. And I've got some general things to kind of say and share with you. And I'm not going to overshare. I've written down in big print on my notes, Penny, don't overshare, because I am terrible sometimes. So, but I've got a few things I want to say before we start. First of all, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you, my soul fam, my subscribers, my as yet to be subscribers, my new viewers, my listeners, and my clients that I see, some on a regular basis, some every now and then, and some maybe only once. But whatever the nature of our, let's call it professional relationship is, it is just absolutely, do you know what? It's an absolute honor to work with all of you. You're a very special bunch, but you know that, don't you? And you know, I recorded a whole well, I recorded 3 astro bites this afternoon, and bless you, one of you said in the week something about, my goodness, Penny, it's ever so good of you to get up so early in the morning, you know, dress, makeup and everything and do these astrobites. No, I don't do that. No, what I do is I pre-record a batch and upload them. And you see, with YouTube, what you can do is program when they are to be broadcast. So that's how I do it. So I did 3 this afternoon. And one of the things I was talking about was why general aspect astrology works, because I think it's important to explain to you that because I do this kind of general daily astrology, which is not specifically for an individual sign, so it's not horoscope astrology, it has just as much power, punch, and energy as an individual horoscope, and often will make more sense, because depending on what the actual aspect of the day is, or the major aspect, or where the moon is going to have a big effect on us. So, for example, let's take today. Today is in a sense, this is like a new moon energy. It's an equinox. This is when we have equal day, equal night. We have, I can't remember, I'm not sure how to describe all the astronomy side of the, what actually goes on, the sort of more scientific side. I'd have to have it written down and kind of read it out. But we know that obviously in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the spring equinox, and in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the autumn equinox. Now, what is so beautiful about an equinox is, in this instance, in the autumn, the sun is moving into the sign of Libra, which is the 7th sign of the zodiac. So we have gone halfway round the zodiac. And even though here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have what we call the astrological new year in April, which of course for the Southern Hemisphere is the autumn equinox. So it's a little bit confusing. So it's almost like in the Southern Hemisphere, Libra is your first sign of the zodiac, but it's not, it's Aries. So it is Aries for everyone. But with it being a Libran energy that has come in for us today, and remember, Venus, the planet of relationship and love, is actually in Libra at the moment, and Venus rules Libra. So it is a very powerful energy today. What it kind of brings us or brings in is, again, the potential, like we get with a new moon, to invest energy and intention into the plans and ideas we would like to manifest. So it is very powerful. And I'm seeing Poonam is here, Tiffany. Oh my goodness, everyone is here. We've got Marcy, Parry. Parry, it's great to see you here. And Anna and Jem and Miss Annie and everybody, just absolutely lovely to see you. And Laurie, yes, and Simi, you're all here. Fantastic. So listen, so that was the general thing I wanted to say about generalized astrology. It really is worth paying attention to the astrology of the astrobites, because it will affect you. You know, if we've got, say, one of the major planets stationing retrograde, like Pluto, when it went back into Capricorn, we're all going to feel it. We're all going to feel as if, whoa, somebody's put the brakes on and things are suddenly kind of getting blocked and stuck. We all know how it feels with a Mercury retrograde. We keep, you know, everything's going wrong. It doesn't really matter which particular zodiac sign or part of your chart it's in, because it's affecting all of us. We get problems with our cars, we get problems with technical stuff, computers, phones, all of those things. But also remember, with a Mercury retrograde, it is an opportunity to go back, review, relook, redo, and renew contacts with people we may have lost touch with. So what else is happening? Because I also want to tell you about a couple of new projects that are waiting in the wings. And I thought, I'm not going to wait to the end. I'm going to tell you now. First of all, those of you that enjoyed Whiskey and Bagels, we're not starting Whiskey and Bagels again, but Brandon Russ, medium Brandon Russ, and myself decided that the energy of the next 2 to 3 months was too extraordinary for us not to do 2 or 3 shows live streamed on both our channels simultaneously, looking at the political astrology and keeping it neutral and fair, and looking at the qualities of the candidates involved in the US elections. This is not about naming, shaming, damning, any of that. It's about saying we have this person and this person, and are the person on this side's policies what America needs? Or does America need the policies represented by the other person or the other party? So that is the way we are going to manage these 2 or 3 shows that we plan to do. Now, the first is on Saturday, October the 5th, okay? And that is going to be at 5 o'clock GMT, or British summertime, no, Central European Daylight Time. It's going to be at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock GMT. So I think that's 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, and an hour earlier as you go west across America. But it will all come up. We'll be posting it on YouTube. We'll be posting it on Facebook, and we're just calling it Political Astrology. And it's going to be tremendous fun. And because, you know, I'm so hot on boundaries and reining Brandon in and making sure he doesn't misbehave. I've said we keep these shows to under an hour and no swearing, no naughty words, no misbehaving, a little bit of flirting, but then that's what we do. And a serious look at the astrology of the moment. So that's coming soon. Yes, Andy, I will. Don't worry. We will. I've had stern words with him. And if you're watching, Brandon, which you may well be secretly from the sidelines or in catch up, you'll be laughing because we had a very good chat in the week. It was really, really very good. Now, I also have another project that I just want to very gently introduce. And this is a joint project I'm doing on a new channel. And my dear friend Sarah, who is a hypnotherapist and does all kinds of hypnotherapy, including past life regression, she's also, though she would probably be too shy to own up to it, actually a pretty damn good medium. And she's also a channeler like myself. And so we are going to start a channel to channel. That's all I'm saying at the moment. It's a channel to channel. And hopefully that'll be up and running before Christmas. And we've had a meeting today with our kind of graphic person to get the graphics done for us. But that is going to be super interesting. And we will facilitate each other in the conversations of the channeling that comes through. In my case, it's the blue light beings, as you know. They're the, as I fondly call them, the Orion lot. And for Sarah, I'm not going to say. It's for her to introduce, not my business. So that's coming. So I just want to give you the heads up and the alert that that is coming soon. And you'll see that channel. And obviously, please subscribe and we will get a video up on that channel as soon as possible. It'll be day one, slow and steady wins the race, and a brilliant kind of concept that we're really looking forward to doing this. Yeah, thanks, Laurie. Go Penny, go. Absolutely. And you'll love Sarah. She's a good foil for me. We're like chalk and cheese, actually, but we actually get on extremely well. And she loves cats, and she's got loads of cats. Like I've got loads of cats, and she looked after all my cats when I was here. I go oversharing when I was having my surgery, and she's been incredibly helpful to me. So listen, so that's the new projects. Now the next thing I want to do is actually give you a quote. Some of you may be aware of the channeler Daryl Anker, who channels a star being called Bashar. And there was a quote of his on Facebook I found in the week, which absolutely epitomizes how to use astrology and how it works. And then I'll start doing the astrology for the week, because this absolutely says it how it is. And what Bashar said via Daryl Anker: things in the cosmos don't affect you, they reflect you. They reflect the state and the changes that your consciousness is going through, collectively and individually. It's a reflection. It's not something that affects you and controls you. It's a reflection of changes you've already made. So that for me absolutely encapsulates the energy of how astrology works. So, right, next, now we have to get down to business and we have to actually look at the astrology for the week ahead. And I have a word for the week. Today's word, if you watched this morning's Astro Bite, was nadir or nadir, which means really like the very bottom, or it's actually the IC of an astrology chart is called the nadir. And it's also a kind of rock bottom place that one has to reach at some point in one's life to climb out and find out we can climb out on our own. So that was today's word. Now, today, of course, is the autumn equinox. So the chart for today is the best chart to give us a general overtone of the energy that we can expect this coming week. I mean, please, I will have a look at the chat as well. But what I want to say is I'd be really interested to know how you all were last week with the energy of that full moon partial lunar eclipse. For me personally, I went through an emotional mangle machine. I'm out the other end. I'm fine. I'm in one piece. Everything's cool. Everything's good. And it was the most extraordinary experience. And I had no idea it would be so powerful. So please let me know. I like that. And it's Astro Alcove. Yes, use it. If you go on my Facebook page, if any of you want to friend me on Facebook, it's just Penny Dix. And you'll find that quote. So, and I can always repost it. So, you know, please friend. Some of you already have friend requested me. And usually, unless you say you're a widower in California and you're in the armed forces and you're a surgeon with 2 sons, I will accept your friend request. But you know those requests you get? I've never knew there were so many widowers out there with 2 sons that are in the armed forces and surgeons. Anyway, moving swiftly on to the chart for the day. This kite formation that we had for the full moon is with us really for most of this coming week. So it's not that we're going to get the same as we got last week, because I suspect that most of you, by the end of the week, by Saturday certainly, had some kind of not exactly resolution, but clearing of those muddy waters that Neptune was stirring up to get a better sense of the direction that your life is going to unfold, not just in the short term, but potentially in the long term, and that maybe things are going to be taking longer than you had hoped. And, you know, I think we can all get impatient if we want to manifest and for things to change. And it's, you know, it is something, it's the, you know, back to good old Jerry, slow and steady wins the race. Let me see. Andy, you witnessed several near misses with pedestrians and vehicles that last week. It was insane and reminded you every time to pay closer attention. And Tiffany, you're saying last week was a roller coaster for us with the baby, going back to the doctor and the insurance cancelling her. But we pushed through and it actually turned out to be a very productive week. Whoa. I do hope baby's okay now. And it sounds like she is. That's great news. Okay, Poonam, you're going through some healing energy. Okay, that's good. That's amazing. Parry, it's been a very emotional and not easy to find peace and joy and simplicity and finding the right flow and not letting circumstances distract and hinder things. that can be tough. You see, it has been that sort of week. This Neptune energy, which is kind of the top point of this kite formation, is Neptune, and it's as if it's purveying the scene. It's spreading this mist and fog and illusion and confusion all over everything else that is happening in the cosmos. And so, and I think whilst the sun was still in Virgo up until this morning, it was absolutely winding up our nervous energy, because Virgo is full of that kind of nervous energy. And you've been wiped out, Tracy. Okay. So you're all going through, Janice, you're getting your CT scan result on Friday. Fingers crossed for you, Janice. So Neptune has really been the problem for us this week. It's been trying to see clearly which way things are going, how things are going to unfold, not being able to trust our intuition, really finding it difficult to get down to that true gut feeling. And yet, if we do, if we really get behind that energy, we get that essence of, you do know really, if you really, really just go completely silent and slow down when Neptune is having this kind of effect on us, go deep within, you will find that peace and stillness, and you will actually find the answer that it may not be the answer that you want, but you'll have a much better kind of sense of it. And wow, thank you, Lola. Lola has contributed to my fund, to my live show, because I didn't really realize this can happen. But if anyone does want to help support me, you can, just donate. There's a little, I think there's a little $ somewhere, and it all comes through to me once a month when YouTube send me the money for the views and things. But Lola, bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. And so now the sun is in Libra, it really feels that we can relax a bit. We're going to get more balance and harmony. So this week, I think we will all feel as if we can take our foot off the accelerator. It's almost as if last week we had our foot on the accelerator and the brake at the same time. So this week, I think, is going to actually feel a little bit more as if we can start moving forward at a reasonable pace, thinking of what Andy was saying about paying more attention, being mindful of pedestrians. Yeah, I think if we drive our own vehicle, our body, with mindfulness and care this week, then I think actually we really will receive some clarity and balance and harmony, especially if relationships have been a little bit difficult, challenging, unclear. People, wow, Tiffany, bless you. Mwah, thank you. God, this is amazing. Thank you, people. Thank you so much. Woo! What's Jupiter doing? Let me have a look. Jupiter's in Gemini, and Jupiter's conjunct my Mercury. So I guess abundance for my communication skills, hopefully. So thank you very much. But please, guys, don't feel pressured into doing anything. It's lovely that you do, and I really seriously appreciate. But coming back to the energy for this week, there is another very important aspect that we mustn't lose sight of, because we have it going on all week. And Venus is at the anaretic degree of Libra. Now remember, Venus rules Libra, okay? And Venus is about the divine feminine, I think, in her really most loving and powerful guise. To me, Venus is not the sexual feminine. I leave that to Lilith's domain. Lilith is the kind of shadow feminine, divine feminine. And Venus is also, remember, about how we value ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. And so Venus is squaring Pluto all week in one form or another. Pluto, remember, is retrograde in Capricorn at the 29th anaretic degree. So this square goes on all week, because when Venus moves into Scorpio, which I think is, can't remember, I think it's tomorrow or Tuesday, Venus will still be squaring Pluto. So because Venus is about relating and relationships, Pluto is in the cardinal sign of Capricorn, about getting things done, sorting things out, but sometimes being a little bit harsh. Capricorn is boundaried, contained, determined, and takes absolutely no BS. And don't push anything in a friendship, in a relationship, in a family situation. Let it resolve itself organically, because there is a danger with this Pluto square Venus that we're so carried away with the kind of Libran energy, and we think, yes, we can get everything all smooth and lovely in all our friendships and relationships. No. It's not going to work that way. What you have to do is do the Jerry thing. Slow and steady wins the race. Take your time. So I'm just looking at Andy's comment about so many medical and health and death things happening around my friends and loved ones over the last little while. It's very interesting that you're bringing that up, Andy, and very sensitively, because I've heard of 3 deaths in a very short space of time. Same family, mother, father, and daughter, all for separate reasons. And it quite broke my heart. I wasn't close to them, but I knew them very well. And the shock is palpable. And the loss, and this also can be this Pluto in Capricorn, because Pluto brings endings, necessary endings. The daughter in this situation had been very unwell for a long time, so I think the stress of losing her parents kind of, I think she probably gave up. But it was devastating when I heard that news. It was like, no. So, and illness as well. I'm hearing a lot of people with very unwell things, not good stuff. But this is Pluto in Capricorn tidying up. Do not fear Pluto in Capricorn. Trust and have faith that Pluto knows what it's doing. We are on a political precipice at the moment worldwide, as I'm sure you are very aware, with all the events that are unfolding in not just Ukraine, but the Middle East. I saw in America, you had another terrible shooting, I think in Alabama, in the last 24 hours, which is just crazy. crazy and just tragic. You know, there are no words. Yes, Simi, I've just seen your message that 2 years ago you lost your nephew, brother and sister-in-law 6 months apart. It still hurts, yeah. Yeah, we don't ever get over these things. We learn how to manage them. They leave indelible scars on our heart. And I'm just seeing your comment, Jem. Yes. And yes, Tiffany, so many shootings. It's just, Andy, I see you're talking about what you've been going through. That's very brave of you. Well done. But I'm not going to talk about it. So the general energy this week, I think we are going to feel that something has lifted. So because I'm saying we've got this kite, it's like the airy energy of Libra helps it take off so that it dissipates some of that dark energy that Neptune has been kind of pervading every cell of our body with, and empowering us through Pluto and Uranus to find innovative, unusual ways to move forward. Remember, Uranus is about freedom of speech, freedom of movement. And, you know, sometimes death is about freedom. And sometimes, you know, that is just, there was something I heard, somebody must have been listening to something about we fear death. If we didn't fear death, we would realize that we'd rather be where we are in death than where we are here. But because we fear death, we want to be here. But and I wish I could tell you who to credit it to, because I heard it, I think I was playing a YouTube video, as I often do when I go to sleep, and I obviously fell asleep before it finished, but that somehow stayed with me. And it's true, isn't it? You know, maybe where we go is actually far preferable to where we are, but we just have been taught to fear it. Let's go through the moon's energies this week and some of the other major transits before I move on to our word of the week. Tomorrow, the moon is in Gemini, and oh yes, okay, so Venus does much later in the day move into Scorpio. Scorpio's not a great place for Venus because it's opposite the sign it rules, Taurus. And so Venus, you know, Scorpio is more Lilith's territory. And so Venus is kind of being encouraged to go within and really look at the shadow side of the divine feminine, which Venus in Libra doesn't necessarily want to do. And also tomorrow, the sun in Libra is trining Pluto in Capricorn. And yes, Simi, I've just seen what you said. It's not so much death you're afraid of, it's leaving a loved one behind to grieve your leaving. Yes, yes, that's true. So we have, as I say, the sun in Libra trines Pluto tomorrow, which is an encouraging start to the week. The sun, remember, our heart, our soul, it's the DNA of our particular solar system. It's the beating heart of our particular part of the galaxy. And trining Pluto, it's bringing in, it's pulling in the empowering energy of Pluto to say, let's transform this week into something far more empowering, beautiful, thought-provoking than what many of us have been enduring in the last couple of weeks leading up to that full moon. You know, we're moving towards the next eclipse, the solar eclipse in Libra, which is on the 2nd of October. I will, of course, do a video for that, and that will be up and running in about 10 days' time. And remember, I have got a video up. Doesn't seem to have picked up many views. I don't know why, but it's the autumn equinox. But it's quite a nice little video, though I say so myself. So do check it out. The autumn equinox video is up on my channel. And again, it sort of probably repeats a little bit of what I'm saying today. So the Sun in Libra trine Pluto in Capricorn is lifting us up and saying, in a sense, whatever leaves now has no place with you any longer and needs to be where he, she, they have gone. And the moon in Gemini has us, I think, feeling a little bit more communicative and being a little bit more mindful of our choice and use of words. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday, because Tuesday, Mercury in Virgo, nearly at the anaretic degree. And remember, Mercury is about communication, and Mercury rules Virgo as well as Gemini, is trining retrograde Uranus in Taurus. Remember, Uranus is about the unexpected, surprise, shocks. Absolutely not what we're expecting. And it's a trine, so there could be very surprising, interesting, positive news on the world stage, which at the moment, having watched the news today, would be very welcome. And maybe also in our personal lives, we receive news over the next few days, which is uplifting, which makes us feel, now I understand what's happening or where we're going. And then if we move on to Wednesday, we have Mercury moves on quite swiftly in Virgo to oppose Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So just as we've had this wonderful clarity from Mercury trining Uranus, we suddenly get this opposition to Neptune, which has us doubting what we knew for certain the day before. Don't do that. Don't doubt it. If you had a thought or an intuitive piece of insight on Tuesday, write it down, leave it there, because that was the first thought. That was your truth. The moon now has moved into Cancer, so it's in the sign it rules. And the moon in Cancer, I think, can have us feeling a little bit more like we'd like to spend a little bit more time at home, kind of in our safe place, in our happy place, in our comfy chair, and, you know, just a little bit of self-nurturing on Wednesday. By the time we get to Thursday, the moon is in Cancer most of the day and then moves into the fiery fixed sign of Leo. And Mercury, our planet of communication in Virgo, trines Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Well, that is interesting energy too. And I suspect that we get information coming through, which is, it feels like there is some kind of change that takes place in what I would call the Capricorn areas of what it represents in terms of government, institutions, even banking and things like that, because Mercury in Virgo is being a bit of a bookkeeper. And we may get some information that comes out about these large institutions, these large companies, these conglomerates, which maybe sees something actually closing down. I know it's a trine and it's not a square, but it could be that, you see, Pluto in Capricorn is trying to say some of these things do not serve us anymore. Mercury in Virgo, Virgo is about service, and service as well to the community. So, you know, Mercury is actually, I think, in Virgo, trining Pluto, saying something has to go. How that fits in on a personal level, it may be a way of thinking. It may be an outdated way of thinking that you have about things, a kind of more kind of rigid, kind of earth-based columns and ticking all the boxes, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, instead of being creative, thinking outside the box. So that would be more in keeping with the Mercury in Virgo trine Pluto in Capricorn energy on a personal level. Friday, there are no particular major aspects, but the moon will be in Leo. And on Saturday, the moon is still in Leo, and there's also no particular major aspects. Now, all this week, I'm using words that have been suggested to me by some of you. So you remember I've said, if there are any words you would like me to research, look into, look at the quotes that represent them, then drop it in the comments and let me know. And, excuse me. And to the best of my ability, I've tried to go through the comments. I've probably missed some because I've now got a batch of comments I haven't looked at yet, but I'll get round to them this week, and collated the word suggestions, and I'm using those this week. And there's some really interesting words. One of them is actually going to be our word for the week. And hi, Susan Fabian, good to see you here. And welcome. And Shirley, you're here as well. It's very good to see you here. So the word for the week was suggested by one of you. We've actually had it before, right in the beginning when I first started doing this, but it doesn't matter that we have it again, because I think it's always good to have a second look at these energies. And what better word to actually go through this week with, somewhere in our kind of consciousness, but gratitude. Because there is so much that we do have to have gratitude for. And, you know, the concept of gratitude is that we need to be aware of it every day. The fact we wake up every morning and we're here, I mean, it's a miracle. Here we are on this little planet, hurling round an absolutely powerful, massive mega sun that's spewing out solar rays and plasma and energy and neutrons and neutrinos and God knows what else. And we wake up. And sometimes we forget to be grateful for just waking up. So maybe we have to kind of practice this week to just, the first thing we do when we put our feet on the floor, when we swing our legs out of our bed is to say, thank you. I'm really grateful that I'm awake this morning. I'm really grateful I slept and had a good sleep. I'm really grateful I'm here. So, yes, Poonam, we have so much to be grateful for, and we all need to remind ourselves of it. You know, me too. We all do. We get so caught in our own stuff, which is fine. You know, this is what life is about. And, you know, as you know, I tend to overshare at times, and I'm really working hard on not doing it, because this is this is not supposed to be my therapy session. This is supposed to be a therapy for you. But I know that sometimes by my personal sharing, it helps you to understand what you are going through. So I just have to be more boundaried about my sharing and have gratitude for the awareness that sometimes that's what I do. Now, I have a whole load of wonderful quotes thanks to Chat GPT. I love this app. I think AI is awesome. I'm going to fully embrace it when Pluto fully moves into Aquarius at the end of the year on November the 19th. I think AI, if you use it consciously with gratitude, you don't let it be your master, but you master it. AI can be a wonderful tool. So, what's this? Your sharing helps me realize we're all just humans trying to do our best. Penny, I love that you are showing the positive side of Chat GPT. Thank you, Jem. Overshare? Nah. I love it. Thank you, Laurie. Leah, sorry. It's yes. I mean, there's a limit, because this is not just supposed to be the Penny Dix show where I just tell you everything I've done this week, but I do have to tell you, of course, about my wonderful shopping day on Friday. My first day out shopping in Malta since I had surgery, so 6 months, and I have never walked so much in 6 months. I used my rollator. I've got one of these little trolley things that old ladies use, and which was great because I could sit on it if I got tired. My back is killing me. It's tired. It's not actually damaged. It's just the muscles in my back are tired from doing so much. Yesterday, I slept most of the day. Got up in the evening. My friend Sarah came round. We had a takeaway curry, and then I had to go to bed again. And today I'm kind of like, But anyway, yeah, we are all human. This is, you know, we mustn't forget this. And everyone that we see doing, say, videos on YouTube, on television, whatever, you know, we all get it wrong. We all have messed up lives. We're all the same as everybody else. We just, you know, for me I went into therapy as a patient to try and understand myself better. I trained as a therapist because I thought maybe training as a therapist will help me understand myself better. And it has. And doing this now continues to help me understand myself better. And through that boundary sharing from Pluto in Capricorn, what I do is hopefully show you that I'm just as human as you. I get it wrong. I mess up. Last week, if you'd seen me most days, you would have thought, my God, this woman has truly lost the plot. I'm not going to tell you. I'm actually not going to share that. But things happened that threw me back into being like a teenager. Mind you, on Friday shopping, my friend Sarah said I was like a toddler on speed, because I was just so super excited. I was just in every single shop and having a fabulous time. Okay, so, right, let's have a look at some of these quotes about gratitude that will help us, because I am grateful for the day I had on Friday shopping in Malta. I'm terribly grateful to my friend Sarah, who came with me and looked after me. I'm also incredibly grateful to Frankie, who drove us there. He is my neighbour, and he really was a wonderful kind of sort of in the background person, just keeping an eye on me. He was great, and he won't watch this, but if he does, thank you, Frankie, you were awesome. And his wife might watch it, so Mary Grace, if you're watching this, thank you. And I am very grateful that I did have some money to buy a few nice little things. So I got a couple of handbags and some perfume and some makeup. Anyway, right, on to the quotes. Here we go. So what are you saying, Simi? Beyond the beyond, if that makes sense. I like that. Yes, Sarah was great. And you'll get to see her, because when our channel is launched, you'll get to know this amazing, incredible lady. So here are the quotes. So Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude." So we actually, what that says is we need to have continuous gratitude. And of course, that's what all the experts about the law of attraction say. The more you have gratitude for the things that you love, the more the universe will give you the things that you love. If you're constantly focusing on the things that you don't love, the universe thinks you like it, so it gives you more of that. And it's to do with our thinking and our thoughts. And Melody Beattie said, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It makes sense of our past, and it brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow." So what she's saying is that gratitude is it's a transformative power, and shows how it can actually, through the transformative power of gratitude, it can bring peace and clarity for us. William Arthur Ward said, "Gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings." So, you know, he emphasizes how gratitude shifts our perspective, making everyday experiences that we have, making a coffee. Thank you to all the people that picked the coffee beans that made the coffee I'm making. You know, when we put these vibrations out into the ether, they go on this invisible web, in this kind of field of pure potentiality, as Deepak Chopra calls it. And somewhere, one of those coffee growers will pick a bean and smile and go, "You're welcome." Let's see what else we've got. So, actually, this is quite a poignant one by Albert Schweitzer. "At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us." Shirley Murray, huge gratitude for your contribution. Thank you so much. It is really appreciated. And I think that Albert Schweitzer is beautiful, because the gratitude we feel for others who uplift and inspire us, especially during difficult times, and don't judge us. Must put that one down. That's another word for the day we need to have. Oh, this is lovely. The last one. Maya Angelou. Let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer. And let faith be the bridge you build to overcome evil and welcome good. So she's portraying gratitude as a kind of grounding force that brings in faith and helps us overcome challenges. And it just shows, doesn't it, how powerful gratitude is. I have huge gratitude for all of you that come to me as clients, all of you that just observe and learn and absorb and take something. Even if you only come once, I have gratitude for you giving me some of your time. I have gratitude for those of you who have made a contribution tonight. That is super kind. I have gratitude for being here, being able to do this live stream tonight. I've got gratitude for my friends. I've got gratitude for my parents making love one night and conceiving me. Now there's a thought. We're in most cases, I'm not going to go take us down a rabbit hole. Most of us are born from love, from a loving act. And maybe that's a good place to stop and say thank you for all being here. And I'll see you next week for another Week Ahead Live. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. And what can I say? You are all friggin' awesome. And I really love you. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.